The future looks bleak, and any realist would conclude that there will never be a time of genuine peace. So, is that the final answer to our question? Or is there a surprise on the horizon? Is there any realistic hope that peace can come to our troubled planet? Yes, my friends, there is. There's a statue near the United Nations in New York with these words inscribed on it. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. Do you know from where these words originate? They come from Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 4, and Mr. Nixon chided poets, authors, and songwriters about such dreamy ideas of peace. Those who make peace at the typing table rather than at the negotiating table have the luxury of being peacemakers without having to grapple with complex problems and the rough and tumble world of real international diplomacy. To them, the only obstacle to peace is the regrettable lack of leaders who are as selfless and idealistic as they claim to be, and who are willing to put aside parochial national interest and the interest of bringing peace to the world. They hope that this era will be the one in which self-interest, the force that has driven history since the dawn of history, will simply evaporate.
Of the Soviet Union.
Christmas Day, 1991. Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev arrives at the Kremlin for what will mark the end of the Soviet Union and his last day as president. Back then, I was still at ABC. For reasons of his own, Gorbachev has granted an ABC News production team and me exclusive access. We joined him in his Kremlin office. There's an innocuous-looking briefcase holding, we are told, the nuclear launch codes. His successor, Boris Yeltsin, will have one of his people pick it up shortly. The American president, George H.W. Bush, is celebrating the Christmas holiday at Camp David.
Merry Christmas.
Gorbachev calls to say goodbye.
Алло. Да, Джордж, дорогой, приветствую. Поздравить вас с Рождеством и Барбару.
Let me begin by saying something pleasant. I would like to say Merry Christmas to you and to Barbara and to your entire family.
It's how the final hours go. A series of goodbyes culminating with a farewell broadcast to the Russian people.
Дорогие соотечественники.
Dear fellow citizens.
An hour after the resignation speech, I'm invited back into the office.
For governor and election deniers, evangelists of the big lie. CBS News election expert David Becker.
What's really important for voters to understand is our process is actually as secure and transparent and professional as it's ever been.
And yet, since the 2020 election, at least 39 states changed or updated voting laws, often spurred by invented claims of widespread election fraud. Texas imposed new ID requirements for mail-in ballots. Georgia restricted drop boxes and absentee ballots. Florida established an elections crime unit. Yet come election day, November 8th.
For most voters, they're going to find that the experience is very similar to 2020.
The bigger worry, what comes next? More January 6th outrage? Claims of election rigging? Crowds baying for blood?
This guy's calling us fascists. They are vilifying Americans. You asshole MSN. Joe Biden seems to think that I'm intimidated. I'm not intimidated.
A new CBS News poll this
But
morning shows 72% of Americans think U.S. democracy
I
is under
believe
threat. Why?
he is intimidated by us.
Of money in politics, potential for
That's
political
why
violence,
all
and attempts to
of them
overturn
are
elections.
intimidated by us.
Our next hour will focus on these fault lines, fears, and some potential solutions. We begin with CBS News.
He said when they were chanting, "Which lie people die," we just knew that rational people wouldn't believe it, and we didn't fight back. And that's the point you're making. We've taken this stuff. However you feel about the Iraq War, nobody lied. The intel was wrong, but nobody lied. To this day, a majority of Democrats either believe George W. Bush lied us into the war, or that it's likely that he did so because of the failure to fight back. Donald Trump fights back.
Yeah. And I'll give you that.